Welcome back to episode 5. In this episode, we're finally going to start producing our own power. Since the last episode, I've left the game running a bit to generate some more money. We're currently producing just under 9,500 an hour. Now, I suspect this is probably going to go pretty quickly once we start producing power, but we'll be able to recover from that. Because I'd like the harbour over here eventually, what I'm thinking is buying these couple of tiles. We can put the bridge in across from this industrial estate. And it's also quite close to the motorway, so we can hopefully tie into that. The other thing I need to think about is what power station we're going to use. I did want to use the coal power station, but I'm pretty sure that's like $1 million just to put in. Coal. Yeah, $1 million. So we've got a little under 750. It's a bit of a hard choice between the production and the up costs. I'm not really too sure. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go with the gas. It should produce plenty for us to be able to so it'll produce up to 250 megawatts. I mean, what are we using at the moment? The city's using 15 megawatts, so we'd be able to export some of it, what will go to replenishing some of the running costs, hopefully. I would like, if I can have, I can't think what the edge is called, like the quarry side edge to the roads, just as it comes to the Land's End. I think that would look nice. And the other thing is I want to try and keep the bridge level. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set a piece of ground at the same height on both sides, and hopefully that will let us have a perfectly level bridge across. Of course, I do need to try and make sure I line it up. I think that's about right. Bridge across. In fact, actually, that's quite a nice height to come in at. I'm just going to make it quite wide for the moment, just so we can get the bridge straight, and then we'll tidy up afterwards a bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to build a small platform here. With the elevation, if it's after a set height, you just have legs rather than the quayside edge, what I want. So by putting a shelf there, we should hopefully be able to have the quayside edge, and then once the bridge is in, we'll cut this back so the concrete just goes further down. So what I'm going to do is just adjust how much we adjust the elevation by. And right, so that goes up 3 degrees, but we've got this nice concrete lip here, and hopefully we can do the same sort of thing over on this side. Right, what it looks like I'm going to have to do is take the end part of the bridge out and then build across from this side as well. Unfortunately, we're going to have a slight climb on the end part of the bridge. But what I'm going to do is if I take all of the bridge out and then run across, it's not going to be perfectly level like I wanted it to. But it raises less than a degree across the entire bridge, so I think for the most part we can call that pretty level and within our tolerance anyway. In fact, those shelves don't look too bad. I'll probably come back and do some dressing up of them a bit later, but for now they should do. Okay, so I'm going to run this road in straight. This will be what leads up to the motorway eventually. And then we can bring this one straight across. Okay. So this isn't going to leave us much money. When we put this in, we're going to have about 56 grand left. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a gamble to see if we can actually get enough revenue back from the export before we basically go bankrupt. At least we've got an extra 150 grand to play with to try and get the money back up. Right, the game is paused at the moment. What I'm probably going to do is actually put some industry in down here as well, I think. And hopefully this will just help produce a bit more money whilst we're sorting out the power situation. So if we just let those start zoning in quick. Oh, we're still actually technically making... Oh, there we go. Although we're not losing as much money as I thought. Wow. Uh-oh. Right, okay, so it's staying about minus 6 grand. What are they complaining about? Sewage. Oh, we need to increase the budget a bit more. It's not ideal because we're losing loads of money at the moment. I'm going to put it up to 80% if we can. Hopefully that'll be enough. Well, their demand's disappeared, but the graph's not. Am I going to have to do more than 80%? I hope not. Let's put it back up to 100, see if that does it. Oh right, I think the 80% might have actually been enough and it was just slow to respond. Either way, we'll leave it at 100% just so we can know everyone's happy. We're losing 5.7 grand now. What I think we could do with getting this export sorted as soon as possible. Something I'd like to do is try and make this look more realistic, shall we say. So what I think I'll probably end up doing is have multiple transformers fed by the power station, what then feed out to different parts of the city. Obviously at the moment it's not too much an issue, we've got this single road connecting it all. As we expand out and start using the land around, I don't want to have to rely on the roads transporting the power, because there is a upper limit onto how much power a road transports. Yeah, for example, the small 2-lane road can carry up to 40 megawatts of low voltage. Same with the 4-lane. I wonder if... I think this might be, that's the motorway, you can't do it. Yeah, so it looks like the most you can carry by the road is 40 megawatts. What actually means we're going to need to put, in the first episode we connected a transformer to import power, and we need to get the power down to this transformer to now be able to export it. But we can't rely on the road for that, so we're probably going to have to run some power lines up to the power station. So what I'm actually going to do is put 2 transformers in, and then we can use one to power the city, one to run the exports. I think I'm actually going to need to move this transformer down a bit, just to give myself a little extra room. So hopefully now that this one can run like this. So we've got this one line feeding. I know I've made a mistake. We don't need the second transformer because we've already got a transformer. So that's feeding into the power, into the city, and we can come off this one. I want to make sure I leave enough space for the road to go through. Yeah, I'll sort the rest of that bit out in a moment. That's alright. We'll come back over and do a little bit of alteration with the ground. Now, this is... I think we're going to bring the height up again. So when we come across the water, it's already... what sort of base did we have on that? It was... Yeah, it's a wider one, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if the power lines actually stop boats being able to pass underneath of them. So, in theory, when we unpause the game, we should see these cables jump up like this to symbolise it's exporting. Yeah, there we go. We're currently exporting 26 megawatts. 115 megawatts, there we go. How much is that? Losing 8 grand at the moment, or 8.5. 8. Oh, that's looking promising. That's starting to look a bit more promising. Hey, that's what we wanted to see. Nice big jump up. Can't tell you how relieved I am to see that. It took so long to get that profit going in the last episode. Oh, wow. That just flicked up to 9 grand. And again. Okay. Well, that's looking promising. We can export power. We've got this transformer. What technically we could just connect the cables together, but seeing I'm planning on expanding into these tiles for the start of the more densely populated area, we might as well leave that there because it'll be useful. I just want to have a quick tidy up around these posts as well. It makes no real difference, but I do think it just looks a little bit better with things not being so precariously balanced on the edge. I think for this junction, I just want to tidy it up before I forget about it. I think the easiest way to do this is if we bring this out one, not quite as even as I wanted, but seeing it works, that'll do. I'm going to leave the junction until we unlock the highways, what I'll probably do in the next episode. For now, I think I would like to do a bit of detailing on this area just to help enforce the aesthetic of the gas plant. We've really recovered, actually. I think we're making just as much money now as we were before we put in the gasworks. And I can't tell you how pleased I am about that, because when I saw that money go down, I was worried. I've got to be honest. Now, I think I'm going to leave it here for this one. I wanted to try and make this episode more targeted just about bringing power into the city. So I'd love to hear your feedback and see what you thought of the build. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take it easy.